Hi everyone, my name is Megan and welcome back to my channel. Today I think we have a pretty fun video, so grab a snack if you wanted to. Today we are going to be talking about my character design process, but more specifically like story characters. So if you didn't know, I'm currently trying to write a story of my own, so I've been doing a lot of character design and I thought I'd share some tips that I have with you guys. So my first one is what I'm doing right now is before this video I went through all of my previous sketchbooks and bookmarked different faces or hairstyles or anything that caught my eye as inspiration. And what I did with that is I saved them all, and I saved the sketchbooks that I found stuff in, and I'm gonna go through all of them right now and just kind of do like a little sketch. It's not special, like it's just like me like literally drawing with a Sharpie, and I'm just kind of getting that idea. So when I design characters, I pretty much start with the name. I find a name that catches my eye and a name that kind of, I feel like would suit the story. So the characters in this video I'm actually designing are for my story with Stella that I've talked about on this channel before. I'm designing my characters Ren and Elias. So also in this video I was going between the name Bennett or Elias for Elias, but after some talking, I guess, and like thinking it through, I decided on Eli. I like giving my characters nicknames, and I liked the nickname Eli. So yeah, I literally flipped through every single page of my sketchbooks, of my previous sketchbooks, and bookmarked different hairstyles that I liked, because I like to start with the name, and then usually I like to go off of hairstyles next, because I actually really don't know why. So some tips for the characters themselves is actually having a background or personality in mind when you're designing them. So like for example, I had the names thought out and I knew Ren was going to be kind of like the mischievous one of the group, because I really wanted contrasting characters, and so far none of them really are. Like, I mean, Willow kind of is, and I wanted kind of a personality where Willow and Ren could really like play off of each other. And for Elias, he's definitely more of a side character, and he's not even going to be in the first story. He's going to be a little bit, but he's mainly going to be in the second story, which I don't know why I'm even planning the second story, but I kind of wanted to get like a head start, and I got some ideas and blah blah blah. Here are actually papers that I drew in class, so all the papers in the back of my sketchbook were all drawn in class, so I wanted to look through those real quick to see if anything caught my eye from that. But after I looked through all of my sketchbooks and kind of looked like all those faces, drew all of those, I went through Pinterest, just kind of fill in any gaps. When I first kind of thought of Elias's character design, I definitely thought of kind of curly hair, tannish. That's kind of like what I thought. By the end, you'll see I definitely do not want to go like I definitely did not go that direction, and I've actually been doing some more designing off camera of them, and I'm pretty happy with them so far. So yeah, I definitely use Pinterest references to help you out, because I had no idea, first of all, when I thought of Elias was going to have curly hair. I definitely did not know how to draw curly hair on guys, so I definitely want to look up references for that. But the hairstyle I actually went with for him was a kind of combination of some that I found in my other sketchbooks. So while we're going through this segment, I draw a few different variations of Elias with this hairstyle. Again, I go with a different one. But another kind of tip is know their purpose in the story. I would not go about just creating a bunch of different characters for the sake of having a bunch of different characters. I would definitely, you would want like side characters or kind of like filler characters, but like if you're gonna have main characters, have them there for a purpose, or else your story is gonna feel like cluttered and kind of unorganized, and I don't think anybody wants that. I hope that makes sense, and like, just again, I'm not a professional in this. This is just like kind of my tips of what I found has helped me. Because I've wanted to create so many characters for this story, because like it's a witch world, so like I could really have fun with it, but like I've had to hold myself back and like create just the main characters so far. So here you can also see me kind of swatching out different colors or different markers to kind of try to find a skin tone. So like I mentioned, I kind of had like an idea of what I wanted for Elias in my head before I actually started designing. So the final drawing in this video is not really a drawing, it's kind of really bad, but the final thing I did kind of just didn't turn out the way I wanted it, and I really just didn't like it. So I've been messing around even more with his design off camera. Here you can also see me writing on some sticky notes. I'm just writing the things I knew about the characters thus far, and I find this is a really helpful thing to do for me because it's like on a sticky note, it sticks out on the page obviously, and it kind of just helps me remember, and then like I see it every time I look at the page and I'm like, oh yeah, so Ren is a witch in this world. Elias is Caspian's best friend. Like that's like, I'm just writing down the stuff that I knew at the time, and the list has since expanded, luckily. And that was pretty much all things that I knew before I even did this video, so it's really useful knowing kind of like what they're like, or knowing their place in the universe, I guess. It's just really nice knowing, because then you can put that like aspects into that, or aspects of their personality into their design. For example, we are working on Ren right now, and she's a witch, and I knew she kind of had like a fiery personality, and I gave her fire red hair. I don't know why none of the characters in this universe have like red hair, so I was like, you know what, contrast, let's do that. She also has purple eyes. I don't draw those, or I don't give her an eye color in this video. I just kind of actually decided that today. So, but I end up also later, I gave her gloves, and I'm actually gonna give her a tattoo that has to do with her power, because her power is, I'm not quite sure of her power yet, but her power is gonna have something to do with the weather. So she's gonna have like a little weather tattoo. It's gonna be so cute. Here I was also messing around with ear designs, because if you didn't know, in this universe, it's my witch universe. So the way you actually know you're a witch is everyone is born with the same like normal ears, like I'm not like just like kind of like human shaped ears that pretty much everyone has. But if you do develop a power, along with your power, you grow like a kind of different shaped ear, so that's kind of how you know you're a witch. So I was kind of messing around with designs for her ears as well. Kind of feeding along with that, my next tip is having their design make sense, and less is always more, especially with character designs. Like you definitely have to take into account like what kind of world they're living in, like if it's like a futuristic world or if it's like a modern world. You definitely want to know that kind of stuff when you're designing the characters, because you don't want them to feel out of place, or you don't want them to be out of place, and you want them to actually make it look like they live in that world, you know? So the type of world they live in is like a futuristic modern world. They are set in the future, but they also kind of have like the fashion sense of today without modern technology, if that makes sense. Like since witches had evolved, they kind of didn't need technology anymore, because like the witches could stand in and are smarter than technology kind of thing. So like their universe is kind of like modern day clothing sense. So that's kind of just what I wanted to draw, you know? But with the less is more and having their designs make sense, you don't need to have like this like extraordinary like super detailed like outfit if it doesn't really need to be that. Like I would definitely also think about like shape language and color theory. So like I was watching, for when I was in animation class last year, we had to watch this character design video, and it like talked about having like a good shape language. So if you just filled like their silhouette with black, what would they look like, and if they make sense, or if it's like confusing and kind of weird, you know, like kind of make their silhouette interesting and have different tones of color, like, you know, like if you make it all black and white, have it like variations, you know, like different tones and stuff. Those are all definitely things to think about when designing a character and designing like a good character. I'm not saying like, oh, my characters are perfect. I know my characters. Some of my characters are rough looking because, like, first of all, I used to just draw a girl in my sketchbook and make it a character, you know. Now I'm definitely trying to put more thought and effort into the characters I'm designing because I'm trying to get serious about writing this book, like as serious as a 18-year-old can get. So yeah, I hope all of that kind of made sense, you know, and I hope it was actually helpful, you know, some things to think about when you're designing your next character for your story. Also, this is a complete side note, but I just wanted to add that I've been doing a lot of watercolor in my sketchbook because I hate the way my markers look in the sketchbook, so I haven't been using them, and that's the main reason, well, not the main reason, but it's one of the reasons that I don't like the final drawings. Again, I say that very loosely, but I don't really like the way the markers even look on this paper. But I have been doing a lot of watercolor, and I have been finding myself thoroughly enjoying watercolor, and it's definitely an experience. So yeah, when it comes to character designs, it's definitely not a linear process. You definitely have some like bumpy roads. For me, it definitely seems like my characters are always changing, but luckily it does seem that they change for the better. But like one final tip would definitely be like taking your time and definitely having fun with it, and create a character design that you actually like and that you actually enjoy drawing, you know, because it's not going to be fun if you create a character that you just hate drawing. So these are the two final little drawings I did that just, you know, I don't really prefer. Yeah, this skin tone, when you do like little swatches of markers versus when you do like filling in bigger spaces, it definitely looks a lot different. And I've had this happen to me before, but I just didn't really like the way the skin and the hair mixed, you know. But I was like really set on that hair color. I don't know why. I saw the hair color and I was like, I want this hair color so bad. So I'm sticking with the same kind of hair color, but I'm toning his skin down just a little bit. And I was just writing myself notes because, whew. So off camera, I went and did some more skin tone tests, and that's kind of, the one on the right is what I kind of wanted in the first place, and that's kind of what I'm in between right now. So that's kind of what I pictured him as. And now we are going through all of the little sketches I've done in my sketchbook so far, when I've been thinking about Ren in particular. So all of these have just been what Ren has evolved into, I guess. So like I started with the first sketch on the first page I showed, and now these are kind of things I just drew really quickly with Sharpie again. And now we're going on to a more final design. Obviously it's not even close to being final. I'm not settled on a hairstyle for her yet because I really just don't know what I want for her. But you know, I'm gonna not rush it. I'm not gonna like make a final decision just to have it done, you know. So yeah, I hope you guys took something away from this video, you know. I hope it made sense. I hope you found it useful, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions as always, and I will see you guys in the next video.